stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Honorable City Council members, Mayor, Madam Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, our City Attorney, Chief of Staff, to the administrative staff that's here this evening, and to all of you that are here with us, and also to those who's viewing tonight's broadcast via YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, June 8, 2026. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portions of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card, which are located on the table in the back. After you've completed the card, hand it to the deputy clerk. And at this time, we will have roll call.
All right.
Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Bullock.
Here.
Councilman Jones.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
And Councilman Wilhite.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, it is necessary that we amend tonight's regular council meeting agenda. The amendment will include removing agenda item 8A, that's under the clerk's report. That's that first reading and introduction of amendments to Chapter 48 of the signs, the Code of Ordinance.
Nope, sounds good.
Thank you. So the proposed amended agenda reads as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, public comment. Number 3, approval of the consent agenda. 4 is discussion. 5 is petitioner. 6 is chairperson's report. 5 is the mayor's report. 8, clerk's report. 9, treasurer's report. 10, public comment. 11, unfinished business. 12, new business. 13, warrant. 14, communication, and number 15 is adjournment. And we're requesting approval of the amended regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion to approve the amended agenda.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Mr. Wadsworth to approve the amended agenda as presented. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Number 2 is public comment. This is for the agenda items only. This portion of the agenda, again, are those who are in the audience and who would like to address City Council regarding the agenda items. Comments on non-agenda items will be heard later in the meeting during the second public comment period, which is agenda item number 10. You can find the rules of City Council on the back of your meeting agenda. And you will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairpersons. Madam Chair, I have not received any written requests for any members of the audience to speak under this public comment portion of the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So anybody want to speak through this public comment? And this is for items that's on the agenda that we're going to be discussing tonight. We're going to open it up to the public. Anybody would like to speak? Okay.
Somebody's raising their hand.
All righty. Going once? Going twice? Yes,
She raised her hand.
I see her.
I'd like to speak. I'm not sure it's on the agenda. There wasn't any more papers back there, but I see that you have it up there, so I assume it is. I live in that neighborhood that this is going to be in the backyard. Also, do any of y'all want it in y'all's backyard? Because I know I don't. The traffic already is bad when 94 is is under construction coming down Wick Road as it is to get out of that neighborhood. Plus the rate of cancer in our city is horrible. Are we really wanting to bring more of this kind of stuff in? You know, my family very deeply has been affected by cancer. I mean, it's right now as close as you can get. And the property values are not gonna be good for that community. And it's like y'all forgot about that little square when you're talking about this. Because I know none of y'all live in that area right there where it'll be in their backyard. So it wouldn't affect y'all much, but it will affect us on a daily basis. And I think if nothing else, you should set this aside until you can talk to all the people in that community. Y'all had town hall meetings before that y'all actually advertised to talk to stuff like this. This was not. You know, so I think y'all, as council member, owe it to y'all constituents in that corner of town to at least do that.
Thank you. Any more comments from the audience?
Hi, my name is Sandra Zurab. I'm part of owner of The Mobile. I've been in the community for 27 years. And I'm just wondering if the city's master plan doesn't support a truck stop here, why should residents have confidence in the master plan going forward if the city is willing to approach projects that don't match it? Did the city, I'm just wondering if the city conducted any independent reviews of noise, air traffic quality, and diesel emissions, or is it relying primarily on the information provided by the applicant? And like Virginia said, there's a lot of cancer, a lot of schools. We want to live and we want to breathe happily. We want a safe community. Romulus is a safe community, and it should stay like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the audience? All right. Ms. Ellen, we're going to close that out.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Number 3, approval of consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items. If discussion of an item is required, it will be removed from the consent agenda and considered under the next agenda item, number 4. Consent agenda item 3A, approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held on Tuesday, May 26, 2026 at 7:30 p.m.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Mr. Wadsworth for the approval of the consent agenda. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhide?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Number 4 would be discussion for items removed from the consent agenda, which there were none. It takes us to number 5, petitioner. Madam Chair and Council, we do have 2 petitioners that's listed on the agenda this evening. The first petitioner under 5A, Fairways of Gateway. This is for a preliminary site plan, Second Amendment. I'm not sure who the representative is that's going to make this presentation. Could you
Hi.
please state your name for the
Sure,
record?
good evening, everyone. Reno Suave with Infinity Homes, 42400 Grand River, Suite 112, Novi, 43375. Am I able to reference and use this, or? Anybody know? Can I use the slideshow? I know that's up.
Can you swap them?
Did you present one? Did
I
you?
think our office sent it, yeah. I mean, if you can, but I can just talk through it, it's not a big deal, so.
If you have a thumb drive, we can.
I think we sent it, but again, if nobody, it's not a big deal if not, so.
Okay.
So we're here before you guys tonight. This is the final phase of Fairways at Gateway. For some of you know or don't know, this has been ongoing. I think when I was at the Planning Commission meeting, I referenced that I was driving to, my parents were driving us to our high school spring break in the late 90s. And I drove past the subdivision then, and they were just already ongoing. And coincidentally enough, you know, a couple decades later, you know, we were here before you guys bringing in plans. In 2013, we purchased a development to come in with and reopen up the development. Obviously, it was set up to have, you know, several hundred units in it at a time, and we opened up sales back in 2014. Now, some of you maybe know or don't know, it's probably been a few years since I've been in front of you guys last before we opened up the phase 5, but our company is built, I think when this phase is done, we'll be in the last almost 13, 14 years, we'll build almost 400 homes in Romulus. So we've been rooted here for a little while now. We've brought a tremendous amount of economic growth to, I think, to your guys' community, probably more so than I think than any other business, because if you look at what drives the most community is housing, right? So pertaining to what we have before us tonight, so we purchased the final phase of Gateway about 7 years ago, and was purchased from the forward developer who used to own the golf course. Obviously, the Ross family owns it now, but we redeveloped this. Initially, it was set out to be 162 or 165 attached, I think, ranch-style units. You guys gave us approval. You know, we're pretty successful in the 130 or so that we did in the prior phases, single-family homes. So we got approval from you know, obviously from the city council and whatnot, and planning commission. Reopen of sales almost going on 2 years ago, and for our grand opening was around Halloween. We had probably the biggest grand opening we had, and probably of anyone I've done since we've been in business. Now our company, since I started in 2000, we built almost 3,000 homes across southeastern Michigan. Probably to say, if you look at the percentage basis, about almost 15% of that's been in your guys' city. Now at our grand opening, we had almost 200 people show up for a grand opening. It was amazing. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful fall day out. We ended up, it was a pretty successful opening. Now since then, in our phase here, we took the 169 units or so that were initially set for ranch-style units, downgraded the density to 91 single-family homes. Currently, we're selling at an active sales pace of about 2 a month. We hope to be sold out of there probably the next 18 months out of what we do. We have about 35 that have been sold, closed, and occupied. There's about 25 more under contract and about 30 or so more to go. So we're before you guys tonight to seek approval on the remaining portion along St. Andrews, which part of our initial redevelopment was, I think, around 52 ranch-style condominium units. But we've been very successful in the single-family home portion of it, and we're looking to continue that trajectory onto this final phase along St. Andrews, which is going to entail lowering that density from 52 units down to around, I can reference the site plan, I can't reference up there, but the site plan is around 31 single-family home units. So pending approval, on the slideshow, we did send in and showed all of our plans. If some of you are familiar with our development, it's pretty much the same square footage, same housing plans that we're doing. We may introduce a couple new floor plans on there, but the houses range from anywhere from 1,500 to upward near 2,000 square feet. And our sale prices start off in probably, sadly enough, by today's standards, it's considered affordable in the 300s. We're topping off anywhere from a base price to like $330 or so up to like $450. I think we've probably yielded some of the highest sale prices in the city. Some of the houses that we're selling that we're going to be closing or will be closing on are pushing 500, even over 500,000. There's not really anywhere you can go, pretty much that I'm aware of, in southeastern Michigan and buy a brand new house on a nicely well-kept golf course for under $500,000. So it's been an attraction where it's drawn people from not only in the city but from all over. And again, once we seek approvals on this, construction will probably start on this phase sometime next spring. And by that time, we should be almost through what our current inventory is in phase 5, but we'll be sold out but not built out, obviously. So this will probably start sometime next year. And if I had to say we keep up with the sales pace that we're at, I'd say by like 2030, we'll be pretty much sold out and built out of the neighborhood, which On a number basis, this was started and approved in 95, so if you look at it, it took 35 years to build 600 and some homes. So this is going to be the final phase of this development. We're looking forward to bringing it to a close. And with me tonight is Greg Dunn, who is our engineer, civil engineer in the project. So if you guys have questions, which I'm sure you will as they come about, we're here to answer them this evening. Thanks.
Any questions from council? Mark?
I went through your proposal, and I was reading what the planning commission was going through, and apparently there was a question of lot 29. It's the pie-shaped lot that, and I went through and I was reading it, and I couldn't see in here if you have decided to put a small house on that, or if it's a green area. Because the question was 31, 30, if you could change the lot size and make 29 bigger or whatever.
Yes, we modified those lot configurations, and on 29, I think he can fit every house except for one of his models on, so it's not really a big deal.
It looks
So-
kind of awkward because it's a weird shaped lot because the back goes like a point, but like Greg was saying, we looked at that. And what we do, we go to have, we start marketing, we'll just exclude certain floor plans from that, so nobody will purchase the plans that won't fit on.
And am I correct in assuming there is that some kind of an easement or something there, and that's why?
Yeah, there's a storm sewer easement that runs there that there's an existing sewer in the ground, so we have to stay out of that. But there's enough room outside of that for a good building.
That was my only question.
Okay, any other questions? I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Jones.
So for that lot, you said it narrows as it go back. Now, is it going to be possible just to leave it as a green belt? Because you got the storm sewer, you say, going through there. Is it gonna be big enough for anything other than a little?
Oh, yeah, it'll fit a good-sized house, and the easement is just, will be in the side yard, just lawn area.
So the easement will be right about 5 or 6 feet from the house, 7.5 feet?
Yeah, probably, yeah, possibly. But it'll just be lawn area, you just won't be able to build anything in that easement.
Through the chair,
Mayor?
and this might clear up the pie size lot a little bit. So you'll still be able to put a home there and meet all the required setbacks by the city around it. You won't need variances, right?
Most definitely.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a question. So I'm looking at the same planning commission meeting minutes as well, and there are several residents that spoke regarding issues they have experienced with their homes. So my question to you is, you have a lot of growth, you have a lot of development. What is the percentage of complaints you receive from homeowners regarding the developments, and what are those complaints composed of?
No, that's a good question. I knew this was going to come up tonight too, and I'm happy to have, obviously I'll address it. So let's just say if we close on average, for number purposes, we close north of 100 homes a year, but let's just say there's 100 homes a year. Warranty concerns, everybody has warranty concerns with their house, right? You're buying a brand new house, there's going to be things that happen after the first year. It's in our purchase agreement, it's in our limited warranty. Obviously, some are more minimal in scope, some may be greater in scope. The biggest thing that we've been experiencing, we spent a lot of the time at the planning commission meeting talking about concrete. And it was kind of got to be kind of complex, but there's a bigger issue going on with concrete. I know that Jeff, the building director, spoke a little bit about it too. I met with the residents out in the hallway after about 45 minutes after the meeting. We had met with everybody, took their names down. They do have it, but there's a larger issue going on, not just with the way our contractors are pouring the concrete, but it's in the concrete product itself. That this is going all around. You know, I was president of the Home Builders Association a couple years ago, and this has been a topic of discussion then when this all came about. The mix designs changed like around 2020, 2021 or so. I think it was an EPA mandate. And since then, we've been having a lot of issues around concrete, not only in our residential, but even like on your main roads and whatnot. So I met with all the residents. We gave a plan of action. We told them in springtime, we're going to give them a plan of action as to what we're going to do. Obviously, they're not buying a new home and their driveway's going to crumble. We're going to say, tough luck, you're dealing with it. We're working with, and this is an ongoing process because it's so big in magnitude. Since, like I said, we built almost 3,000 homes so far. I've never had these many warranties that came in for concrete as I have in the last probably 18 months. But we have talked to every neighbor, at least it was at the meeting, and beyond that, and we're addressing them as they come up. But it's going to take some time, but we did tell them it will be rectified in one way or another.
So most of the complaints are from the concrete, you're saying, and not really from nothing else?
I mean, things come up.
Yeah.
I mean, if I told you that we don't have any warranties of any builder, I told you I'd be lying, but no, things do come up, man.
So your warranty and ticket process, what is your ETA on when people submit a warranty or they submit a ticket? What is the process and how fast is it?
Just for like concrete.
Resolution.
Well, we have a program which has a 30-day move-in warranty.
Mhm.
So like if it's anything that's critical, maybe you missed a closing or just pops up after closing, we'll address it then. If not, it waits till the 11th month.
Mhm.
And then usually when someone notifies our office, they go online, they fill out something out, they fill out a form online. Someone from our office usually will get in touch with them within 3 to 5 business days, give or take. And then a service tech will then call them, go out there within a few weeks, assess what they have. Yeah, this is eligible, this is not eligible,
Mhm.
and it's addressed from there. So-
Okay.
But there's sometimes the things that can't be addressed, like concrete, for example, you're not gonna do during the
Right.
winter, you can do in the spring, so.
Okay. So I'm just going to say this, because I've been on council for 7 years and I've heard different complaints and whatnot. So I guess what I'm saying to you guys today is that we shouldn't have people come to us, because if you guys are working your process with the warranty and tickets, we shouldn't have people come to us, council meetings complaining, correct?
I would respectfully agree and disagree.
Okay.
Sometimes if people, if our customers don't like it's all in the documentation. If they don't like the
Okay.
answers that they're given, even though it's right in black and white, they're gonna say, they may not agree with it, right? But we try to work with them to say, you try to decipher through which ones are reasonable versus unreasonable, right? So I'm sorry they have to come to you before you guys, and you guys have to take your time down, but, you know, we do respond to everybody. So,
Okay.
again, so different than buying a new car and you have issues with it. I bought a new car a couple years ago, I brought it to the dealership 7 times so far. GM, it's like, if I go there, I'm on hold for 4 hours, at least when you call our office, you'll get on the phone with someone within a matter of minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from council? All righty. We're going to entertain a motion?
So, Madam Chair and Council, there are 2 motions that are
Okay.
necessary for the actions that you have to take. The first one, if you look on page 22 of the agreement, the first action,
Madam Chairman, I do have one question.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
hold on one second. Go ahead, Mr. Wadsworth.
If I can, to the chair, is this going to make this property now done with building on it, or is there still more space to build?
No, yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying, is after about a 35-year period, this should be 100% done.
Okay.
I mean, it's a major project, it just, normally. don't
Okay,
take this
fine,
long.
fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, I see that it's 2, yeah.
okay. So the first action, we're requesting from council an amended preliminary PDA site plan and agreement. So it is requested that council concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve PDA 2020-001, Fairways at Gateway, amended preliminary PDA site plan and second amendment to the PDA agreement, subject to the finalization and execution of the PDA agreement by the city attorney. That's the first action we need from you.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion for the amended preliminary PDA site plan and agreement to concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve PDA 2020-001 Fairways at Gateway, amended preliminary PDA site plan and second amendment to the PDA agreement, subject to finalization and execution of the PDA agreement by the city attorney.
Who got that second?
Support.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Mr. Wilhide for the amended preliminary PDA site plan and agreement and concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve PDA 2020-001 Fairways at Gateway, amended preliminary PDA site plan and second agreement to the PDA agreement, subject to finalization and execution of the PDA agreement by the city attorney. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhide?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And the second action will be a preliminary condominium plan, The Bluffs at Gateway, and asking council to concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve SPR 2026-004, the Bluffs at Gateway preliminary condominium plan amendment, subject to the conditions of the Planning Commission and ARC.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Jones.
I move to concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approval of SPR-2026-004, the Bluffs of Gateway preliminary condominium plan amendment, subject to the conditions and the Planning Commission and ARC.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Jones, seconded by Mr. Wadsworth, for the preliminary condominium plan, the Bluffs at Gateway, to concur with the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve SPR 2026-004, the Bluffs at Gateway preliminary condominium plan amendment, subject to the conditions of the Planning Commission and ARC. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Agenda item 5B. And this is a conditional rezoning from M2 General Industrial to MT Industrial Transportation and Special Land Use Approval for a truck stop. And the petitioner this evening is Pilot Travel Center, and I'm not sure who the spokesperson is. Could you please state your name for the record?
Thank you. I'm Patrick Deptula. I'm Vice President of Development for Pilot Travel Centers. I want to express my appreciation to Romulus City Council and its residents for their consideration of our project. Thank you especially to the city staff for guiding us through this process. Our relationship now spans roughly 2 years. Pilot has responded and acted on every request posed throughout this process. This evening, we are primarily addressing 3 items requested from last month's study session. First, we're providing a video rendering depicting traffic flow in the area of our project. Second, we're providing a traffic gap analysis of current traffic. Last, we're addressing a crash study that was previously provided to City Council tonight. With your support tonight, you have Pilot's commitment to safety, a commitment to be a great business and philanthropic leader in Romulus. Commitments that continue well after our doors open for business. As a gateway into the United States, Romulus has embraced commerce and logistics. We very much want to be a long-term business leader in this community. Please give us that chance with your vote this evening. With that, I thank you for your consideration, and I'll pass this on to Brad Alsop and Julie, our traffic engineer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Again, appreciate your the opportunity to stand before you to present this project again and to hopefully gain your support. We want to go through several items, as Patrick mentioned, that were brought up at the study session on April 27th to make sure that we address all of your concerns completely. I'll kind of walk through it, and then Julie will join me for the more technical discussion. So first off, just a reminder, the property is currently zoned M2. We are surrounded by other M2 uses, and many of which are industrial uses, truck-intensive businesses. The proposed rezoning, conditional rezoning, would take us to MT, and we would also need a special land use for the specific use. The use as a travel center aligns with the existing industrial development along the corridor. And it also, based on the language in the master plan, an MT use aligns with the master plan and complements adjacent M2 uses. And we've gone through with the staff and with the Planning Commission, and the city's consultants agreed that this was a complementary use to what was already in place. Just as a brief overview again of the site plan, you can see the north is to the right of the plan. So the northern entrance would be for automobiles, passenger vehicles only. The southern entrance would be for cars and trucks. We would have a convenience store, it's 14,800 square feet roughly, travel center building with a Wendy's restaurant and a drive-through that you can see to the left or the south of the building. We would have 8 diesel fueling positions for heavy-duty trucks. We would have 6 dispensers, 12 fueling positions for passenger vehicles. We would also have 8 electric vehicle charging units as part of our partnership with General Motors. The site plan shows 141 truck parking spaces, 73 car parking spaces, and we do have a dog park at the request of Planning Commission. We work with them to include that in the site plan. I think it's important to note that because of the special land use, we were required to increase our setbacks and our landscape buffering by 50%, which we complied with completely. And then we've also worked with Eagle to keep the disturbance of the existing wetlands on the property to a minimum. In fact, I believe our only disturbances are where we are crossing them with driveways. So we work through that process to keep that at a minimum and also to keep tree disturbance as minimal as possible. Just quickly, a couple of photos of our renderings of what the building would look like. You can see it fits nicely with the character of the existing developments that surround it as far as our finishes go. This is a picture of the car fueling canopy in the front of the building. Here, this is the truck fueling canopy, which would be behind the building in the rear of the facility. Just a closer in of the travel center building. So with that, that's kind of a brief overview. Since we have had the study session, we went through things more detailed. Now we want to talk through several things, including the gap analysis, and then we've got a simulation to help with that. I'll turn it over to Julie for this part, and she and I will just kind of tag team for the rest of this. So. Actually, sorry, let me go through this first, and this is part of what Julie will need. So overall, this is the existing roadway and the piece of property, and you see the red arrows show the traffic flow, the lane configuration. So in front of the site, you've got one southbound, one northbound lane. When you get up to the service roads, you have northbound, you have a through and a dedicated right turn. Part of what we're doing as part of this project to mitigate any traffic concerns is continuation of the 2 southbound lanes, with the right lane being a right turn only to access our site. So there will be a deceleration lane into our site. Addition of a center left turn lane extending between and kind of beyond to the south of our driveways to make sure that northbound vehicles can safely make a left turn into our facility at either driveway. And then proposed striping and signage for through traffic in the left lane and through right traffic up at the service drive. And I've got a blow up of that. We'll show a little bit more. So again, this is the proposed overall. I realize that's a big plan with a lot of arrows. We're going to zoom out on it a little bit. But these arrows show what I just mentioned. When we go to the I-94 service drive, you'll see right now, again, you've got this is the existing, you've got a northbound through and a right turn only, and then the southbound lane. Part of the discussion with the Planning Commission is, well, that configuration doesn't really make a lot of sense. So at their request, we went to, I believe it was Wayne County, to get permission to change to what you see here. So you would have 2 northbound through lanes with the right lane also serving as the right turn lane. Makes more sense from a traffic flow consideration. When we get down to where the driveways would be, so this is part of the site plan zoomed in. Again, you see currently you just have a north and southbound through lanes because there's no need for turn. What we're proposing is to have right turn deceleration lanes. So as you're heading south away from I-94, you would be able to make a right turn lane or a right turn into our site from a dedicated turn lane. So you're out of the way of southbound through traffic. You would have the through lanes, then you would have a left turn lane for northbound traffic, and again, a northbound through lane. So all of those changes to the roadway will mitigate any concerns that there are with the traffic flow, and Julie can address that more specifically if there's specific questions. So with that kind of sets up the situation for her to talk about the gap study.
Thanks, Brad. My name is Julie Kroll. I'm with Lisa Vandenbrink. I manage our traffic group, and like the rest of the team, I've been working on this for 2 years now. So what I'm talking about tonight is the supplemental analysis that we brought back after the last of the study session. First thing I want to talk about is the gap study. So this is where we actually went out for an entire day, collected traffic volume data on Vining Road, and we actually measured the number of gaps in traffic for vehicles to do two things. One is to make a left turn out of the site, and for the left turns to make a left turn into the site. And those would be the primary, the longest movements. Right turn in, very simple, free flow movement. But what we have, the delays would be for those vehicles coming out, specifically for those heavy vehicles coming out. So we need, for a heavy vehicle to make a left turn out of the site, the critical headway, which is the technical term for this gap evaluation, for the truck is 12.2 seconds. For the truck to make a left turn out, they have to have a 12.2 second gap. And so we measure the number of those 12.2 seconds or greater. So some of the gaps I checked this evening were over 30 seconds long. So anything that was 12.2 or larger that was available for those trucks to make a left turn out. And so this chart shows you, starting at 6 in the morning all the way to 6 at night, how many gaps of that size occurred in an hour. And the lowest number there was 91, and that was during the PM peak period. And we compared that to our truck volume demand during that time period. You can see that at the bottom. In the morning it was 18, in the afternoon it was 22. So there was over 91 gaps available in the hour with a demand of 22. So that tells me that there's more than enough gaps in that hour to accommodate those trucks trying to get out. We also looked at the vehicles turning left, going from the south, turning left into the site. That was a much lower number, but again, you can see we had gaps in excess of 150 gaps in an hour. So based on this data that we collected, there was more than sufficient gaps on Vining Road to accommodate the truck turning movements that we have at this driveway.
And so we've got a traffic simulation. It's a snippet for parts of the day just to show what this looks like, and you'll see several different intersections which Julie's office put this together.
So what you're looking at now, this is the software that we use is called Synchro, and the partner software to it is SimTraffic. And so what you're looking at here is the SimTraffic simulation, and this is our models that we use to evaluate the operations. And then this SimTraffic information gives us the queuing information that we use in our studies. So this kind of gives a visual representation. This is the westbound 94 exit ramp. This is now signalized. That signal was added in late 2024. So you can kind of see how that operates. And the video will just kind of scroll through, starting at that westbound. Now we're looking at the eastbound ramp. So you can see the signals. We're not running this one-time speed, we'd be here forever. So it's a little faster, but gives you a good idea of how it's operating, what the queues look like, how that signal is working. And it represents the actual volumes that we collected and evaluated out here. It's going to scroll through down to the next intersection. So this is at the 94 Service Drive. This is where you can see where we did the change in the lane geometry. So you can see how that works at the intersection with the revised lane geometry on this approach. With the 2 through on the approach, eliminating that dedicated right turn so we can utilize the lanes fully there. And now we're scrolling down to the site driveways. It'll take a sec, it's gonna render that background. So the north driveway is vehicles only, and the south side driveway is both vehicles and trucks at that driveway. Again, it's pulling the model is pulling the operations from the adjacent signalized intersections and the adjacent stop control intersection at Goddard. So it's in a network, so it's modeling the traffic that we collected and evaluated and showing how that will work.
I don't know if you can see that at the top, but this is simulating about 7:45 in the morning.
I'm going to correct you there real quick. The way our model is set up, in the top there, it's just a default number. So this is actually the PM peak period. So this is the heavier peak period. So this is probably about 5 in the afternoon. So this is the PM peak. Apologies for the confusion. And then here we down at the always stop control at Goddard.
So as you can see, the simulation and the gap study showed that the gaps, the concerns about trucks not being able to make returns, trucks or cars into and out of the site, there's plenty of gaps, there's plenty of space within the roadway, especially as we are making mitigating measures to accommodate any traffic. The next thing that we wanted to look at, because it's been brought up a couple of times in various ways, is the crash history in this area. I think some information has been presented showing kind of the larger area and the number of crashes. So what we asked Julie to do was dig into the Vining Road corridor between Goddard on the south and the I-94 westbound exit ramp on the north to see what is the crash history, what is the kind of the truth behind that, how many of the crashes included heavy-duty vehicles, and kind of what the history was. So again, I'll let her walk through that.
So we did a deep dive into this crash history, and we're really focused on Vining Road because that's where we're at, where we're going to be impacting, where the driveways are, where the intersections are, that the trucks are going to be coming to and from the site. So when we looked at the Vining Road, we looked at the exit ramps, the service drive, Goddard Road, and that segment. So basically what I just showed you on the simulation. You can see the crashes. We pulled them from Michigan Traffic Crash Facts. The most recent available data for us publicly is through 2024, so that's what you're seeing here, is the most recent available 5 years of data that's publicly available. You can see that overall, there's not a lot of crashes on this corridor. When we looked further at the heavy vehicle crashes, there were even a much smaller number of crashes. In 2024, there was one, and most of the crashes that we looked at were not caused by the trucks. They had a truck involved in them, usually where a vehicle was not paying attention and rear-ended a truck. So based upon the data that we reviewed from the crashes, we were not seeing any correctable crash patterns in this history.
And I think, Julie mentioned it a while ago, but I think it's important to note that I believe the signals at the ramps were installed in late 2024, which obviously would help to improve the situation by having more traffic control in the area. The next thing we wanted to look at, it was again mentioned, I think during the study session, is well, how does the MDOT I-94 improvement program impact this area? So we pulled some sources for that. Julie can walk through kind of what that's going to look like and how it impacts this area.
Yeah, so MDOT's been working on this project for many, many years. We pulled MDOT's environmental impact statement and the record decision, and the main purpose of doing this study in the first place was to improve safety. It said right on the cover page, the purpose was to improve safety. So when I reached out to MDOT, you know, the goal for the 94 project is to reduce crashes through additional intersection and through design, travel capacity, increasing incident management on the corridor, and providing geometric improvements. So ultimately, the overall goal with all of this that's going on out there is to improve the overall safety for all the road users. That's every MDOT project. So the hope is that by the time they're done, that we'll see a lot, significant reduction in the crashes that we had experienced on 94 and 275 in the last several years.
And the final thing that was brought up at the study session was if you're leaving where our site is and you go north on Bonnie Road, you've got to make a U-turn to go west on 94. And it was brought up, okay, well, how is that that turning movement, crossover turning movement working? Is there a problem with it? Is it going to be an issue with the existing, or with the addition of our business? And you can see in the circle here is the crossover turning movement. And Julie pulled this information all the way back to October 2008. The northern nose of the island where the vehicles are making this turn, you can see throughout its history, some trucks have off track there. This is an existing condition. It should not be exacerbated at all by the addition of Pilot's traffic. But you can see that the trucks and cars are clearly making the turn. Some of the trucks are off tracking and kind of wearing on the nose of that island. But again, that's a situation that should not be made any worse by our activity. So just in summary, the gap study shows that there's adequate gaps for truck turning movements already exist on Bonnie Road. The crash analysis shows that the Bonnie Road corridor does not have a high crash rate history for cars or heavy vehicles, especially for heavy vehicles, and the proposed development will not contribute to an increased crash rate because we're putting in mitigating measures to make sure that doesn't happen. The I-94 project will continue to improve the situation as those improvements are made by the state. And then again, the current geometry of the northbound to southbound crossover does not adequately accommodate the WB67, which is the large truck that we use for design turning movement, in that they can't stay completely within the roadway, but they're obviously making the turn and have been for approximately 20 years. And again, we should not cause any deterioration in this condition. So with that, Patrick mentioned a while ago that we want to be a great corporate citizen. We want our team members to come from your community. We want to serve the local community as well as the motoring public. We have worked with the staff and with the Planning Commission to address any requests that have been made of us, modifying our design aesthetically from a site design standpoint to meet those requests and prove that we want to be part of this community. And as Patrick also mentioned, we have a commitment to you that we want to be here and we want to work with you today to make sure that the situation when we build is as good as possible, and also into the future to make sure that we deal with anything that comes up. So with that, we respectfully request your approval of the conditional rezoning and special land use. If you have any questions, we've got our entire team here ready to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions from council?
Through the chair.
Ms. Roscoe?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. Your reports are great, the way you do all that, but I live that every day between 5 and 5:30, and the traffic volume that you show there and what I experience in real life time is not even comparison to the traffic that I see there. The traffic that's backed up from Goddard Road on Vining, going southbound, and the traffic coming off of 94, backed up on the ramps, waiting to come off. Well, the lights are there now, so that's a big help. But I just want to make that comment that whereas I know how you guys do the studies, I sit on the Planning Commission, we go through this all the time, but in real life, that's not what I experience.
Madam Chairman.
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, I don't have a question. I got a couple comments here. Number one, I don't question the integrity of the pilot group. This is a good project. It's well built, but it don't belong here. There's not enough space for it. I recently was down in Indiana, and I stopped at a love place in Indiana, right off the expressway, and there's nothing but farmland around it. Nothing but farmland. if this project comes here, the backups are going to be ridiculous. They're going to be coming off 94 east and west. They're going to be, and it's not going to be one truck. You're going to see 10 trucks, 15 trucks at a time in the busy part of the day. Me and my colleagues all campaigned last fall, and the biggest thing they said is we're tired of trucks in our city. And if we're going to approve this, then we're laughing at the residents in this town. If you look at Middle Belt and Wick, it's going to be 10 times worse than Middle Belt and Wick is, because they're going to come off 275, they're going to come up Wayne Road, they're going to go right past City Hall, they're going to come down Goddard Road, and there again, I'm not questioning what you folks want to do here. It's just too much in a small space. You have here, there are going to be 141 trucks be able to park there at one time. There's going to be overnight parking, correct? Am I correct with that? There's going to be overnight parking, and usually they run their diesel engines, in the wintertime, 24 hours. It just doesn't fit there. It's going to be a problem, and we're going to, in the long term, we are going to regret that we put it there, because when they start backing up to 94, most of us have been behind one truck that turns left or right, and that sometimes that can be ridiculous. One other comment: we just recently knocked down a motel by the airport, and we know what was in there: drugs, prostitution, things that weren't good. All it's going to do is go over there where it's being it's just being moved. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit there. I remember in '96 when we dug the Vining Road intersection. It was supposed to be the future of this town for good development, not for truck stops. And that's my opinion. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Ms. Abdo?
You mentioned your gap studies. We really have no verification on whether they're accurate or not. As my colleague said, what she experiences isn't what you're presenting. You say there's not a lot of crashes on that corridor. Well, we want to keep it that way. And you bring in another 144 trucks. You say, how can that not be impacted by 144 more trucks? I know you're showing beautiful pictures of the building, but what people are concerned about is the 144 trucks that are parked there, what it's doing to the environment, what it's doing to the air. We have a whole subdivision less than a mile away that will have that impact of the diesel engines running. We have a high school less than a mile away that's going to have that impact. And I just don't think this is the place for that, what you're wanting to do.
Any other comments?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Jones?
On your study, what it was based on, in reality, once the truck stop is there, the truck traffic is going to increase considerably. And that gap and all that, I don't think it's going to be as accurate as the study was showing. Because when it's open up and 94 is not done construction, the traffic's going to change. So the accuracy of that traffic, I just can't, traffic study, I don't see what the accuracy is, because in the future, if the truck stop is there, yes, it's 140-something trucks, but 140 trucks is not going to be running all at one time. They're going to be sitting. But we still got to consider, in reality, the amount of traffic is going to definitely change. Because when I sit up there and just watch it, when they come out of there, how many of them are going to turn, like you said, we going north, then make that turnaround, because that's a tight turnaround for the to go north and make that turnaround to go westbound on I-94. You see, you show where you had a lot of where trucks running over the curb. The truck stop coming, you're going to start looking at a lot of holes in there, because when the trucks get hit and the ground is wet, it's gonna become holes unless that's redone. But that traffic study, it's gonna be a lot more heavier traffic than what I saw. It's good you extended the lanes for that, but it's gonna be a lot more traffic.
Understood, and obviously we showed you a snippet of the simulation. The traffic study itself that was prepared by a licensed professional engineer that has done many projects here in the city, was peer reviewed by a city consulting staff to ensure that it is accurate, and has been, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Wayne County has also reviewed the traffic study. It includes growth rates for future traffic. So while the simulation, may not feel like right now, the numbers that we're showing are borne out for future growth of, including our development, and it showed that the traffic will operate properly and efficiently with the mitigating measures that we are proposing.
Any more questions?
I don't really have a question, I just have a statement. I've read all the stuff, the doom and gloom of all these sheets that come out, and I drove from Eureka Road, down Wayne Road, to Vining to 94 this morning, and there was 12 heavy trucks on the road at 10 o'clock. Last meeting, when I left here, there were 2 parked in front of the rack. The trucks are here. We are a transportation hub. There's no getting around that. With the international airport, 2 industrial highways, 2 industrial railways, we are a transportation hub. And my feeling is that they have to have a place to go to keep them off the shoulders of the road. And I know that I have talked with different people, and the police department, for instance, they sent some people to school for commercial carrier. My thought is if you have a place where you can corral them, then it's easier to control. And I heard a lot about the neighborhood. The neighborhood is across the expressway, and don't get me wrong, I'm concerned about it, but I think at this point, and point going forward, look at the North Point complex. If we do things right, it's beneficial to the city. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Mark. Did you want to speak? James?
Yes, to the chair. I think we're kind of stuck on this traffic thing, and I think that people haven't drove around our city too much. If anyone's drove down Ecorse Road in between Inkster Road and Middlebelt, there's 4 trucking companies with a 50-mile-an-hour road on a same size road. So the same thing's happening. We're not getting more traffic accidents. Nothing's happening down there. So we're really just upset about a shortcut that people are taking when they could just avoid that if they're really concerned and take Wayne Road. I hate to say it that way, but I don't see the issues with what the traffic. So we're already doing trucking. We're here. My senior council members, we've created a trucking city. We continue to approve warehouses. We continue to keep doing more trucking. Like Councilman Wilhide said, last week I was driving down and took my daughter to Burger King after high school. There was 4 gravel haulers in the parking lot. If that's a young senior or junior driving their car through there, do you want them driving past gravel haulers in a parking lot? Not really. So we got to have somewhere for these guys to go, and it's not the side of the road, and it's not other places where they don't belong. So to say that they don't belong there, or say that's going to bring more crime without having any statistics on that is kind of, I'm not sure where we're going here. I think this is a good thing. We need more tax basis in the city, and we have to do something.
Okay. And I got to throw my comments out, just to piggyback off Mark and James. The trucks are here. The trucks are here. I live around the corner from the site. I'm on Vining all the time. I'm right on Wick Road. And so I'm not sure with Celeste and what time of day, but I don't quite see what she sees. And what I do see is I'm driving around this city and I see semis in Dollar General. I see semis in the school district parked because they don't have nowhere to go. They're parked in the schools, in the parking lot. They parked in my old neighborhood of Henry Ruff that's going to be a North Point, so they're hidden in the bushes. And I see them. I see them off Ecorse Road. They're all over, just parked because they don't have nowhere to go. They're there. They're there. They're there. So if whatever the council decides, if they decide not to let this go forward, we're going to keep driving around our city. I'm going to keep seeing semis over at Sheets, parked over there for however long they're there. I'm going to see them in the schools. I'm going to see them at Dollar General. I'm going to just see them in my little previous neighborhood, parked and hidden in bushes to try to get away so that they'll be out of sight. That's what I'm going to see if this doesn't pass. We're going to see this around our city. We're going to see semis on the side of the road, as already discussed. That's what we're going to see in our city. So, no, I'm not done. Let me finish. So I'm just saying, we need to seriously think about moving forward in our city and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. Semis are all over the city. They're here. They're here. At least try to make a solution to try to fix the situation. I don't want to see semis everywhere I go. I don't, not in this city. Who wanted to go first?
If I can.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Just one more comment. As elected officials, it's not our job to cater to trucks. Our job is to cater to the residents of this town. Thank you.
Ms.
To the chair.
Through the chair.
Ms. Abdo.
I agree with Mr. Wadsworth. No one, and you know I get a lot of calls, I have never received one call supporting a truck stop here. But I've received many calls, texts from people that say, I don't want the truck stop here. And if you see trucks, Tina, parked at the schools, you should report it. I have never, and I go by that school every day. See, at the high school, I don't see trucks parked there.
You don't go when I go.
Obviously, I don't, but that should be reported and the police will handle it. Same with parking on the side of the road. And what many people are saying is we're not opposed to a pilot truck stop, it's just this location. That's the problem.
Mr. Mayor.
Through the chair, just a couple comments. And I agree that parking of semis is an issue. We are a transportation location. It is something we need to deal with. And there isn't a week that goes by that I don't find semis on the road and call PD, and we are taking action. If we approve sites like this, it's incumbent upon us to make sure that they're going to be as sold. So we do stay on Sheets. When we see trucks parked there for too long, we do have PD to go out there. I've had them parked on Herman Road. They go all over the place because now they're tracked through Fleet. If you're on the road for X amount of hours, you have to be down. And they don't have a place to go, so they find a place to hide, and they become an issue in our neighborhood. So it does offer some resolution to that. Councilman Wadsworth asked about the size of this lot. How does this size lot fit with your business model? Is this the normal size of a pilot travel center, or is this smaller than normal? Have you made certain adjustments to your business model to fit on this site?
Sir, we have sites of varying sizes, right? We've got sites that have 300 truck parking places. We have some that have 15. So I would say this is, if you look at our entire fleet, this is slightly above average as far as the number of truck parking spaces. And a big part of that is because we know that there are so many trucks here that need a place to park. There's demand from our customer base, from the fleets that we service, as well as independent drivers. We know that trucks are parking in a lot of places they shouldn't be because they have nowhere else to go when they're out of hours. So we did upsize, if you will, the truck parking area to help accommodate kind of a known issue within the city.
And to Councilman Wadsworth, you made the point about the prostitution and the drugs. Those hotels are leveled now because of aggressive code enforcement by the city and being good stewards. If we open this site and it is approved by council, and you do become inundated with prostitution and drugs, we will have no qualms about shutting you down and removing you from our community. I don't believe you're gonna be that kind of operation. But I just wanna make sure that we all know here that if you are not what as you are selling, we will take action against that. There was also a lot of conversation too, because we know this is an attractive site for pilot, and we know the expressway and the new bridge is opening up in Detroit. But there were some conversations about community benefit, and there were some conversations about what the developers can do on the south end of that lot. Can somebody share a little bit about that? About the intent there and what we're trying to work out for possible community benefit in the future? I know there's nothing that can be guaranteed at this point, but things that we are working on or talked about.
Absolutely. Good evening, my name is Ali Dagger, I'm one of the owners of the property. Mr. Jones, I completely understand where you're coming from in terms of the traffic study, but if you can't rely on signs, I'm not quite sure what you can rely on otherwise. But at the end of the day here, the community benefit is very simple. Through the mayor, we have allocated the 4.5 to 5 acres that's in the front to a development that would include restaurants and something that is extremely less intensive use. That allocation carves out a lesser use from the M2 into a commercial zone that would allow us to build a restaurant or build something that the city wants us to build there. That's a specific carve out because it's something that we found necessary in order for us to be able to accomplish what the city really needs in terms of restaurants and other places for folks. The other part is the community involvement and commitment. We have allocated a significant portion of the rent over the next 5 years into the community nonprofit sector. One of my favorites is Mr. Wadsworth's animal shelter. And in fact, I'd like to set up a 501c3 for him because I think, irrespective of what you do here, it's an organization that could use the money and the funding. Mr. Jones, you sat with me here before you were elected. You remember that conversation we had? And I saw in you a good man, somebody who is full and has incredible knowledge of life. You've had an incredible life. What I'm asking of you is to have an open mind about the numbers. What I'm asking of you, from everyone here, is to understand that what we are doing is for the benefit of the community. Up today is a vote on a safety center that you're developing, and it's going to be a bond. This will help pay for that bond to the tune of approximately $500,000 a year. There are so many other benefits here. I'm excited about working closely. We've spent 2.5 years on this project. It started out as an idea, and then we've done everything that the city asked us to do. We brought the best engineers. We brought in the best traffic safety folks. We've done everything possible. The community benefit is what we needed to do, and that's something we're going to do. I'm excited about bringing in a national brand of some sorts. It's a commitment that we have that's going to last at least 2 to 3 years. With Mr. Cross's help, we're out there looking for folks that would take that property and convert it to something that everybody can be happy with. My cousin, I'm excited about my cousin opening up the restaurant in the downtown district. And there are other local, the idea here is that we're generating community-based business. And that's what we're looking for. We're committed to donations, we're committed to the nonprofit sector, we're committed to doing everything the city wants us to do. I'm asking that you have an open mind about this and see the future. It's hard just to keep looking back. You gotta move forward and understand the future, and I'm hoping you would see that tonight. Thank you.
I have one more question. And the issue is the traffic. We all know we have traffic on this area, and we're also looking at the Eureka Road traffic. If this is approved tonight and it's built and it does well, we want you to do well, the city around us wants to do well, and traffic does become an issue, what tools are there for city council to come back and revisit this site, or what do we have out there that can be looked at? Is there anything that Pilot can offer? On that end, if we start a huge traffic issue on this site because it's doing well and these things as submitted aren't working, is Pilot willing to make any kind of a commitment to going back and looking at that again and doing some work on that?
Mr. Mayor, we would be certainly committed, and depending on, is it a safety issue, is it a traffic issue? we want to be as inviting as possible for traffic to safely enter and exit our facility. So we would be first at the table, yes.
Because if we don't have good traffic flow, you're not going to do good business as well. So it behooves you to have traffic move smoothly.
Correct, correct. I would add just a couple of items that came up. One, Judy's a professional engineer. And the numbers that she used to display for traffic studies, those don't come out of thin air. That's actual physical counts that were done out on the roads, out on that road. Okay, I just want to make sure that everyone was clear on that. The other thing is, that lot that we're installing, the 140 truck spots, that's several millions of dollars. We have an outstanding competitor in your neighborhood. Councilmember Talley mentioned the name. They're awesome. They chose a different business model than us without much truck parking, right? We're believing that we're going to help solve a problem here. Yes, we will benefit from this site. It's a great site and that it acts somewhat as a stage gate before trucks get into your community. And that's how we look at it. So I appreciate everyone.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, the traffic is going to increase without a doubt. As far as crime, I don't see, just because it's a truck stop don't mean we're going to have crime. Like you said, we're a hub. Crimes around any airport or whatever, you're going to find it because it's places where people can travel. And police stations is going to be right across the expressway from it. So I don't see where crime is going to be a problem. Okay, yes, I didn't totally agree with the study because we know it's going to change. But we have our benefits, our tax stuff. Councilwoman Abdo said a lot of people called her about it. I've had tons of calls. I've had a lot of positive calls. When I first came up for council, that was the first thing came at me about pilot. That you're going to be the decision maker, the tiebreaker. Personally, it's a thing for the city, and anything has pros and cons. Some of it is what we're going to make of it, but traffic's going to pick up. Crime is going to be what it is. I don't see it improving, but it is an avenue to help build our city. It's just whatever we do, we in some cases you can say we're between a rock and a hard place. We can go forward with it, or we can let their property stay there and just be empty with nothing. So it's something to give us a lot of thought, but like everyone says, everybody has their pros and their cons and their personal feelings about it. So it's something we got to consider for the city. Like I say, crime is not going to, I don't see crime being an issue, and we see trucks around here all the time. I sit at Burger King in the morning, and I see so many trucks. I got a question for you. When they come out, are trucks going to be able to go south on Viney, instead of going towards Eureka? Or is it going to be mandatory that they come back to 94 to get out?
We had agreed to put appropriate signage up to direct trucks back to 94. We can't necessarily restrict them from going south because they may be going south to the other businesses or things like that. But we will have signage up to direct trucks to go back toward 94.
So there will be something set up to help keep the trucks from going back towards the neighborhoods?
Directional signage, yes, sir, to direct them where to go.
But it's not mandatory, right?
Through the chair.
Through the chair. But it's not mandatory. They can go right and then go through town.
Yes, ma'am, they have that ability because some of them are going to other businesses. They're going to the industrial uses behind us. They have to go right to get to those. So, yes, that would be a potential still, yes.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Wilhite?
Well, I believe that with signage, and I might have to talk to Jeff or whatever, but, depending on what happens, we can change can we not change signage if we're getting congestion or whatever, you know, trucks, or whatever? But the thing I wanted to say is, that area there used to be the dump for all the different stuff from DPW and this and that, and I'd like to see that area cleaned up. I've had people come to me and tell me that truck stops are dirty. Well, Councilman Wadsworth went to the Flying J down at West Road and 75. Wasn't it 65 that you said that you stopped there?
Yeah.
I went by, and for as old as it is, it's a very clean place. We have places in the town right now that aren't as well kept. But I guess my concern is, if we react through speculation, we're not gonna have anything. I've only sat here for a few months, but everything that we've asked them to do, they've done. And it's beyond just this business now. If we're being looked at by other businesses, what does it say to them wanting to come to our town if we make them jump through hoops, and then we deny them? So that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman.
Mr.
If I
Wadsworth.
may, just one more comment, and I'll go back to my first comment. I think Pilot is a good company. I have no comments about that, but as a retired police officer who used to write trucks, signs don't mean a thing unless there's a cop on the corner. Truck drivers don't obey signs. Thank you.
Okay, that's all the comments. Are we good? Okay. Let's go and move this along.
There are 2 actions required from council to approve a conditional rezoning and conditional rezoning agreement and to approve a special land use. The first action requested from council is the planning, and this is for the conditional rezoning and conditional rezoning agreement. The planning department respectively recommends that the city council concur with the planning commission's findings and approve the first reading of the conditional rezoning request for RZ 2024-001 Pilot Travel Center to rezone 25.53 acres located at 10250 Vining Road from M2 General Industrial to MT Industrial Transportation for the purpose of developing a truck stop subject to finalization and execution of the conditional rezoning agreement by the city attorney, special land use approval for a truck stop, and a revised site plan approval by the Administrative Review Committee.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Bullock.
I would like to make a motion to concur with the Planning Commission findings and approve the first reading of the conditional rezoning request for RZ 2024-001 Pilot Travel Center to rezone 25.53 acres located at 10250 Vining Road from M2 General Industrial to MT Industrial Transportation for the purpose of developing a truck stop subject to finalization and execution of the conditional rezoning agreement by the city attorney, special land use approval for a truck stop, and a revised site plan approval by the Administrative Review Committee.
I'll second it.
It's been motioned by Mr. Bullock, seconded by Mr. Wilhide, for the conditional rezoning and conditional rezoning agreement. The Planning Department respectively recommends that the City Council concur with the Planning Commission's findings and approve the first reading of the conditional zoning request for RZ 2024-001 Pilot Travel Center to rezone 25.53 acres located at 10250 Vining Road from M2 General Industrial to MT industrial transportation for the purpose of developing a truck stop, subject to finalization and execution of the conditional rezoning agreement by the city attorney, special land use approval for a truck stop, and revised site plan approval by Administrative Review Committee. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
No.
Mr. Wadsworth?
No.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
The second course of action for the council, this is for the special land use. The planning department respectively recommends that the city council concur with the planning commission's findings and approve the special land use request to allow a truck stop for SLU-2024-002 Pilot Travel Center, subject to, number one, city council approval of the conditional rezoning and associated conditional rezoning agreement dated April 21st, 2026, or as amended. Number two, waivers from the following. Section 11.07, subsections B and 5, truck stop access drives to allow 2 driveways. Section 11.07, subsections B5, truck stop access drives to allow the south driveway to be wider than 30 feet, proposed 61 feet, condition up the driveway then being narrowed as recommended by OHM. Section 13.04, subsection G, sidewalk and non-motorized pathways to allow payment in lieu of construction of approximately 875 feet of sidewalk along the northern portion of Vining Road in the amount of $65,625 minus the estimate of the off-site improvements at Goddard Road as reviewed and approved by the city engineer. In return for the applicant's installation of pedestrian facilities up to a crossing at Goddard Road and connecting to the site, and Section 13.2, subsection C, greenbelt landscaping adjacent to street frontage to waive 3 feet to 4 feet berm along the northern portion of Vining Road due to the county drain. Number 3, site plan approval subject to a revised site plan addressing all outstanding comments as noted by the Planning Commission and other agencies and departments. Motion will be in order.
Madam Chairwoman,
Mr. Bullock?
I would like to motion to concur with the Planning Commission findings and approve the special land use request to allow a truck stop for SLU 2024-002 Pilot Travel Center.
I'll second it.
It's been motioned by Mr. Bullock, seconded by Mr. Wilhite, for recommending the City Council concur with the Planning Commission's findings and approve the special land use request to allow a truck stop for SLU 2024-002 Pilot Travel Center, subject to, as already read into the record by the city clerk. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
No.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Ms. Roscoe?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you.
Through the chair, just before we move on to the next agenda item, as part of your packet, there was the community benefits agreement that the owner, Mr. Dogger, I think from Vining, is as part of your packet as well to consider and approve.
Do we have, okay, I missed that. Where is that?
It's on page 166.
In the packet, okay.
Yeah, I just note, Mr. Dogger had raised the issue of the $5,000 a year community benefit to he mentioned some specific
Okay,
things, if the council wants to consider it right now.
okay.
Through the chair, I'm sorry, which page was that on?
Page 166, Madam Clerk. Looks like it was put in as part of the packet.
Yeah,
Not
I
singled
see
out,
it.
but not singled out as an agenda item.
Okay.
And it's up to the council if they want to discuss it and consider it now, or you could
I mean,
do another
let's
different.
just roll it.
Through the
Okay.
chair,
Yes.
can you explain
Sure.
what this is, please?
Yeah.
before we
So,
vote?
so a community benefits agreement is something that that sometimes developers or owners of property put forward as something that they're willing to voluntarily do for the community. It's not specifically tied to the approval of any zoning requests or anything like that, because the zoning, the special, you guys have done this enough, the conditional rezoning, special land use has specific criteria in the zoning ordinance for everyone to consider and make their good faith vote in favor of or against. In this case, during the presentation, Mr. Dogger, who is the ownership group, I believe, of Vining Road Investment, right, of the actual property with, I'm not sure specifically what the arrangement is. I presume Pilot is leasing, or, the property to be put there. But this community benefits agreement is what Mr. Dogger was referring to as far as it doesn't say specifically in the agreement, but he said part of the rent, going toward or being dedicated to $5,000 a year to, on page 2 of the agreement, which is 167, beginning on January 1, 2027, the owner shall make an annual charitable contribution in an amount not less than $5,000 per year for 5 consecutive years, and that contribution shall be made to one or more charitable nonprofit organizations located within the city of Romulus and providing services or benefits to city residents. That's it, that he's made a commitment as the owner, and he wants to make that commitment in writing to donate $5,000 per year starting January 1 next year for the benefit of the community. So it's and it's a simple agreement.
Yeah. So can we we're going to entertain the motion.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Bullock, I'm sorry.
I would like to make a motion to enter into a community benefits agreement between the city and Vining Road Investments LLC.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Bullock, seconded by Mr. Wilhite to enter into the community benefits agreement between Vining Road Investment LLC and the city of Romulus. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
No.
Mr. Wadsworth?
No.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Next on the agenda is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before I get into my report, I'm going to go through boards and commission updates. I'm going to yield the floor to Mr. Wilhite.
We didn't have
Right.
we have a meeting next week with the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission, but anybody that's interested in finding out what goes on at the meeting, the minutes are available.
Thank you. Just so they know. Ms. Abdo, do you have any updates?
Just a thank you from the library for the people who came out and supported the book sales, and other than that, not an update yet. We have a meeting next week.
Thank you. Anybody else on the dais? Mr. Wadsworth?
No, I don't.
Ms. Roscoe?
We don't meet until
We
September.
meet next week.
Or the end
Gotcha.
of August.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to close that part out. So I'm going to go into some good things going on in our city. First of all, where is my notes? Hold on. Well, first of all, I want to start off with our school district. They went on a trip to Washington. It was a great trip. They sent back many pictures to share. I just want to say thank you to everybody who donated to our schools to allow these kids to go to Washington on their trip. So if you donated to them, thank you so much. They really appreciated it. They had a great time up in Washington. It was just a good experience for everybody. So thank you for everybody who donated to that cause. Secondly, I want to thank the mayor. He had this one community meeting, which was at Rommel. Just a nice turnout. He does a great job with it. We had our judge, Lisa Martin, who facilitated it. So thank you for keeping those going, Mayor, and for Judge Martin from the 34th District Court for facilitating that meeting. So thank you. Something near and dear to my heart, everybody knows, I am big on Hook and Ladder. That's our little theater here in Romulus, and they are doing the production, A Trip to Bountiful. I went over the weekend. It's usually like comedy, horror movies that we've been showing, but this was a serious production, and it was put on very, very well. We had seasoned actors in there putting on this production. John Thie, everybody know he's a comedian, was actually serious in this production. So they did a great job. I implore you to go and check out the Trip to Bountiful. They're going to be running they ran this weekend. They're going to be running this weekend. They ran this past weekend. They're going to be running this weekend on the 12th, 13th, and the 14th. So if you go to Hook and Ladders, HOOKANDLADDER.LUDUS.com. You can get tickets for the Trip to Bountiful. It was well worth it. If you watch this production, you will find something in this production you'll probably see relevant to your own life. It was very relevant, relevant production that people could probably really grab hold to. So I implore you, check them out. Hook and Ladder, they do a lot of good production. This is one that's going on right now, the Trip to Bountiful, so please check them out. But even with that, I do a lot of shout outs to Hook and Ladder because they're our newest business, and they are doing phenomenal. I just want to keep them encouraged and keep promoting them as well. But we do have a lot of great businesses here in our city downtown. I just want to shout out real quick. We got our Captain Nemo's. We have our Greca Martial Art Academy. We have our Merkel Funeral Services over on Garter. We have Polka Dots Decor and more. We have Bubby's Pizza. We have Marveline's. We have Dave's Barbershop. We have the All of Value Romulus and Clean to the Bone. These are all kind of lot on Garter. So I ask you to please check out our businesses. Right along the Garden stretch. You can just pop in, go to one, you can go down and pop in and find another one of our businesses along the Garden stretch. So please, remember our small businesses. I do Hook and Ladder a lot because they're our newest. So remember our small businesses here in the city of Romulus. And then I want to say those are all mine. That's all for my report. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Mr. Jones for the approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 7 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, those here in the audience today and those tuning in at home. I'd like to draw your attention to an announcement from the Mayor's Office and Ms. Vanessa Tolliver, please.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Join us on Friday, June 12th, as we gather at the flagpole in the Romulus Historical Park at 11 a.m. for a Flag Day ceremony and to honor our veterans. Later that night, our district will come alive with the top 40 sounds of the Killer Flamingos as we kick off the summer music series in our district beginning at 7 p.m. It's Romulus Alumni Night, so make sure to wear your maroon and white and show off your Eagle pride. Let's play kickball! Saturday, June 13th is the City of Romulus and St. John's Lodge 44. community kickball game. Come and join for a fun-filled day of kickball beginning at 11 a.m. at St. John's Lodge, number 44 Park. All are welcome to participate. Later that evening on June 13th, head over to Romulus VFW Post 78 for a steak dinner from 5 to 7 p.m. The cost is $22 per meal, and the proceeds benefit the building fund. The Blue Sky Ice Cream and Hamburger invites you to their Red, White, and Blue Festival. 3 days of family fun, community spirit, food, games, cornhole, and plant bingo, raffles, and much, much more. June 12th through 14th, come celebrate America's 250th birthday. On Friday, June 19th, the VFW will host Family Feud Game Night. Doors open at 6 p.m. You must be 18 or older to participate, and the cost is $5 per player. The community is invited to the City of Romulus' 4th annual Juneteenth celebration. Join us on Saturday, June 20th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Romulus Historical Park for a day of gathering with family and friends to remember the past and celebrate the future. There will be vendors, music, crafts, food, trucks, and more. Movies in our community returns on Thursday, June 25th. Bring your blankets or chairs and join us for a free showing of the movie GOAT at Thomas J. Coleman Center, located on Beverly Road. Parking begins at 5 p.m. and the movie will begin at 6 p.m. Concessions will be available for purchase. City offices will be closed on Friday, June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. Thanks everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. Have a great night.
Thank you, Vanessa. As always, a great job. Also, some incredible news. I think most of us know by now, but I want to make sure I mention it for those who may not have heard. The cooperation between Van Buren, Canton Township, Belleville, and Romulus and Wayne counties scored a big win last week as Judge Cox upheld, and we got a favorable result in the injunction against bringing radioactive material to the Van Buren site. And that's not just the New York site. That's the entire U.S. is bringing in radioactive waste in that site. So we shut it down. We're effective in our lawsuit. I can't thank this council enough for unanimous support for allowing me to go in there and fight. Some of the communities who haven't been in this fight before, this is old news to Romulus, they were struggling with getting approvals because it is no easy task, and it's a heavy lift financially. It shouldn't be the burden of small communities to have to fund these lawsuits. So hopefully now that we got a win, the state will get on board. That's what we're pushing now. And we knew there would be an appeal, and there is an appeal that's been filed. But right after this decision was made, the team huddled up again. We're meeting again on Friday to talk about next steps. How do we go after that appeal? So we're not done fighting it, but thank you for your support. It's a huge win, I think, for the state of Michigan to keep that radioactive material out of here. I don't know how New York figured out that it's bad for us, and they wanted to store it here in Michigan, but we won that lawsuit, and it's the first lawsuit in this arena that Romulus has seen in 30 years, so I'm excited about that. So wanted to share that information. Clap for that. It's the Great Lakes for Peninsula State. We are stewards of the nation's largest supply of fresh water. We should treat it as such. So it's also allowed us to talk about the deep injection well again. So you know that I'm using that for a platform right now. We're going to go after that hard too. So stay tuned for more hopeful, good information coming in that arena in the near future. I also want to thank everybody who took part in our Veterans Monument ribbon cutting. Stacey, your office did a great job on that. I know there's a huge team effort on that. But you really quarterbacked that. We had a great event. It was proud to be from Romulus. It was so cool to see all these residents come back and find bricks of lost loved ones and take photographs with different generations. Even the VFW for bringing the Huey in, that was a real nice touch. For those who don't know, we had combat vets on that Huey that flew over. So a little bit for everybody and everybody that was involved. It was a great event. And again, put our stamp on it, Romulus style, and we do Patriot well. And it was really a great event. So thank you for everybody who did had a hand in that. Clap for that as well. We'll get into the action items of my report. So we get our attorney, who's a big Knicks fan, home for the basketball game. He's over here dying, so we'll try to get him home. The first item I have up for action is talking about our water and our utilities and how we're stewards. This is an action we're taking on behalf of the good stewards we are for our utilities, and our finance team and our DPW team does a great job working on water loss. It's a commodity and we can't afford to just lose it. So they do a great job working on that all the time. It's a nonstop job. And because of that efforts, we're here in a better situation. So I respectfully request council adopt the attached amendment number 6 to the water service contract between GLWA and the city of Romulus.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth?
I'm going to move that we approve the amendment number 6 to the water service contract and with Great Lakes Water Authority.
I'll second it.
It's been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, seconded by Mr. Wilhide, to concur with the administration and adopt the attached amendment number 6 to the water service contract between Great Lakes Water Authority and the city of Romulus. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhide?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up for action is an initiative to rebuild the Welcome to Romulus sign that is out of date and dilapidated off of Merriman Road. For those who haven't seen it, it's the Welcome to Romulus sign. The DPW has been propping that up for years, being creative, but it needs to be replaced. So I'm happy to work for Tifa and MDOT to do so. And I respectfully request City Council authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached MDOT contract 26-5252 for the installation, maintenance, and operation of a gateway sign on the median of Merriman Road north of I-94.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached MDOT contract number 26-5252 between the City of Romulus and the Michigan Department of Transportation for the installation, maintenance, and operation of a gateway sign in the median of Merriman Road north of I-94.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Roscoe, seconded by Ms. Abdo, to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached MDOT contract number 26-5252 between the City of Romulus and the Michigan Department of Transportation for the installation, maintenance, and operation of a gateway sign in the median of Merriman Road north of I-94. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhide?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next action item I have up is for cleaning up the DPW yard. We have piles of construction debris from water main projects and whatever's going on, and it's time to do some housekeeping in there. So I respectfully request City Council award bid ITB 25-26-23 to the lowest, most responsible bidder, Pizzo Development LLC, for the DPW yard cleanup. Gary Harris, Finance Director, has verified funds for this acquisition have been budgeted for and are available. Deputy Finance Director, I'm sorry.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth?
I'm going to move that we approve ITB 25/26-23 for the DPW yard cleanup to haul away debris.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, seconded by Ms. Abdo, to concur with the administration and award bid ITB 25/26-23 to the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, Pizzo Development Group LLC, for DPW yard cleanup, cubic yard pricing for debris hauling at a cost not to exceed $10,500. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhide?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is Omnia Partners Zones contract. Respectfully request council's authorization to piggyback on the Omnia Partners contract 01-152 for the purchase and replacement of Dell domain from Zones Incorporated. Council is also requested to approve
leading the Knicks 33.
the ongoing replacement and
I'm on a media blackout.
I think there was an update on the next game.
I was just going to slide the phone to him, but I didn't.
I'm on a media blackout.
Excuse me. Council approval is also requested for the ongoing replacement and/or required upgrades of the Dell data domain infrastructure until it is no longer budgeted for or end of life of the equipment. Gary Harris, Deputy Finance Director, has verified that funds for this purchase are currently available.
We got,
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the Omni Partners Contract 01-152 for the purchase of a replacement Dell data domain from Zones Incorporated for a total cost of $48,800. This purchase will include 5 years of support and authorize ongoing replacement and/or required upgrades of the Dell data domain infrastructure until it is no longer budgeted for or until the life for the
Support.
equipment.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Mr. Wadsworth to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the Omnia Partners Contract 01-152 for the purchase of a replacement Dell data domain from Zones, Inc. for a total cost of $48,800. This purchase will include 5 years of support and authorize ongoing replacement and/or require upgrades of the Dell data domain infrastructure until it is no longer budgeted for until the end of life for the equipment. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Bullock.
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is continuing our investment in public safety. And I respectfully request City Council's authorization to piggyback on the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract 122-123-DEM to purchase one Type 1 ambulance. Gary Harris, Deputy Finance Director, has verified funds for this purchase have been budgeted for and are available.
Who got that?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make a motion to concur with the administration and consent to the piggyback on the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 122-123-DEM to purchase one Dimmers MXP170E Type 1 ambulance from McQueen Equipment LLC in the amount of $359,997.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe and seconded by Mr. Jones to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 122-123-DEM to purchase one Dimmers MXP170E Type 1 ambulance from McQueen Equipment LLC in the amount of $359,997. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Bullock.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is continued reinvestment in public safety and the priority we're making and moving forward with the new public safety structure on Wick and Vining in that area. So I'm excited about this one as well. And respectfully request that council adopt the attached resolution authorizing the tax increment bond series 2026 limited tax general obligation in the aggregate principal amount of $45 million to pay for the cost of acquiring, constructing, and furnishing and equipping the new public safety headquarters. We have already been through TIFA and received approval to take on that debt. So again, we're going to build a $45 million state-of-the-art public safety building to increase our service model for public safety and also take care of our first responders. And there should be no new taxes, no additional taxes to our residents.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm gonna move that we approve the resolution which is pledging the limited tax full faith and credit in support of TIFA for the City of Romulus tax instrument financing bonds. It's a series 2026, and it's in the amount, like the mayor said, $45 million.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, seconded by Ms. Abdo to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter to attach resolution authorizing this tax increment bond series 2026 limited tax general obligation in the aggregate principal amount of $45 million to pay the cost of acquiring, constructing, furnishing, and equipping a new public safety headquarters. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe.
just have one question. Is this also going to include the fire station that's going to be revamped on North Line and Hidden Drive?
Separate project.
Okay, thank you.
And just to concur with what the mayor said, this is exciting our police have been in that building. How old is that building they in now?
Over 100 years old.
Over 100 years old. They more than deserve this. Thank you guys for coming out. And the fire then left. I see, where the firemen go? Okay, oh, I see, okay, just stand up, be recognized. I'm just kidding. No, this is great, so I'm excited about this as well. So yes, let's make it happen. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Mr. Bullock.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Yay.
You know, I say all the time is action speaks louder than words, and thank you for taking action tonight to prove to our public
Yeah.
safety and first responders that they are a priority, and this is a priority for us. So
Absolutely.
thank you again for taking action tonight.
Yay.
Let's see. The next item I have up is a budget amendment, 25-26-15. I'm hereby requesting introduction of budget amendment 25-26-15 to cover costs associated with the repair of the parking lot and roof of the municipal annex. Municipal annex is a different phrase we come up for the old existing court building, so we're working on occupying that, and we need to redo that parking lot.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Jones.
I move to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 25-26/15 to cover costs associated with the repair of the parking lot and the roof at the municipal annex, former 34th District Court.
Second.
Okay. It's been motioned by Mr. Jones, seconded by Mr. Wilhite to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 25/26-15 to cover costs associated with the repair of the parking lot and roof at the municipal annex, formerly 34th District Court. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is another budget amendment to recognize revenue from federal drug forfeitures. I'm hereby requesting introduction of budget amendment 25-26-19 to recognize revenue that was received in fiscal year 2025 and 2026.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 25/26-20 to increase expenses associated with the MIDC program in fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
Support.
We on item H, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure, okay. It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, seconded by Ms. Abdo to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 25/26-19 to recognize revenue that was received in fiscal year 2025-26. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. We have another budget amendment to recognize revenues, or grants through MIDC, the Michigan Indigent Defense Corporation, runs through 34th District Court. I'm hereby requesting introduction of budget amendment 25-26-20 to increase expenses associated with the MIDC program in fiscal year 2025 and 2026 budget.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Jones?
I move to concur with the administration and introduction budget amendment 25/26-20 to increase expense associated with the MIDC program in fiscal year 2025/26 budget.
Support.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Mr. Jones, seconded by Mr. Wilhite to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 25/26-20 to increase expenses associated with the MIDC program in fiscal year 2025-2026 budget. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. I have one last action item here that's not on the agenda. I would like council to please consider a resolution for two gentlemen we have. Both have been exemplary employees for almost 90 combined years for the city of Romulus in public safety. And we're losing some historical knowledge and some history first responders here, some historic first responders here. So the first one being our Fire Chief David Allison, who's faithfully served his community for over 46 years. And the second being Captain John Theed. We talk about quite a bit here, but he's 25 full-time years plus 15 years of paid on call. And they both go back to way back in the day when I was on the back of a fire truck and my volunteer days here as well. So Dave was chief when I came up through the ranks, and John was just an additional firefighter with me on a different station, and they've both been dedicated to this community for a period of about 90 years. So I'd like to see a resolution passed to honor both David Allison and John Theed.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Mr.
I'm going
Wadsworth.
to do two separate ones.
Okay.
First, Dave Allison.
Okay.
Support.
I want to make a couple of comments.
Okay. It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for the resolution for David Allison. Discussion.
If I can talk about Dave. Dave, I met when he was about 16 years old. He was pumping gas at 5 Points over there at Provis. And I watched Dave grow into a man, get him to get involved in this town. He was a volunteer, and then he became chief. And he became chief at a difficult time because we were going from a volunteer fire department into a full-time fire department. And believe me, you couldn't make everybody happy. That was for sure. And he did one hell of a job, and he's going to be missed for what he did. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'd like to make
Mr. Wilhite?
Dave and I hired in back in 1980, and we had a lot of fun. Back in those days, we rode on the tailboard of the truck, which was very dangerous, but we were young and stupid, and it was a lot of fun. But I've never met anybody that has been more dedicated to this community and to the fire department. He went through some hard times here, and he stuck with it. And, you know, I wish him the best.
Okay. All righty. On that note, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved for that one.
Want to do the next one?
Oh, okay. What? Okay. Fine. Do the other one. I'm going to give someone else a chance.
I thought you were going to do that.
John Thies, who
I
I've
thought you were
known.
sleeping.
John Thies, who I've known for many, many years. Somebody supported,
Okay.
I'll also speak about him.
Okay, it's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, seconded by Ms. Roscoe for the resolution from Captain John Theed as well. Discussion.
If I can, actually, the first time that I met John was during Flight 255 at a Metro airport. I was in charge of the morgue for a week over there.
Wow.
And during that time, I met Dave or John, and a friendship was, began. He was a good man. He loved his town. I shouldn't say he was a good man. He is a good man. And he loved his town, yeah. And he was Romulus through and through, and I wish him well now. He's in Belleville as the chief, and it's a job that he well deserved. Thank you.
What year was 255?
87.
87.
August 16th.
August 16th, 87.
16. Wow. All right, any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing. And another thing, John, we came up together and we worked at different stations, but we worked together a lot. All the houses down Harrison Road, when they were being demolished, we did a lot of training there. I have some videos that he probably forgot about that I'm going to bring up, but they were him cutting up in front of Green Slate. But it was pretty amusing. Good guy, well dedicated to the city. I hope his business goes well with the Hook and Ladder, and I hope that he gets everything that he wants out of his new endeavors. And I wish him nothing but the best.
All righty.
I met John First year I was a teacher here, he was a student in my classroom. That's a long time ago.
Wow, amen. So, on that note, Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Mr. Bullock.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, and that will conclude my report for this evening.
Ooh.
Number 8 is the clerk's report, and I do not have anything to report for this
Right.
evening. So it's going to move on to agenda item number 9, the treasurer's report.
Good evening and thank you. I just have a few items to cover under my report. As a reminder, taxes will be going out. Expect those July 1st. That is for summer 2026. I'd like to wish all the dads and the father figures out there a happy Father's Day because that is coming up on the 21st before our next council meeting. I also would like to congratulate Dave Allison and John Theed, two great individuals, and they both will be missed greatly. And then finally, I would like to share that the Romulus Senior Center they're taking an outing to the Wall That Heals. And anyone interested is invited. It's $5 for transportation. It is on Thursday, August 13th, 2026. You can always call the Senior Center or the Treasurer's Office if you have any questions or need any more details. But for those that don't know, it's a 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. that honors the men and women who gave their lives in Vietnam or later died. It's designed to bring the healing legacy of the National Memorial to local communities across the United States, allowing veterans, families, and the public to honor and reflect without having to travel. And it will be in Taylor. So if anybody is interested, please don't hesitate to reach out and hope to see you there. Thank you. That is it for my report.
Thank you.
Number 10 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those who are in the audience and who would like to address the city council. To do so, raise your hand after being acknowledged by the chairperson. Approach the podium, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. Any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. And please note that members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. Madam Chair, I do have 4 requests from the audience to speak. The first is Yada Phillips.
Hello, Mayor, City Council, Clerk, Deputy Clerk. It's been a while since I've been here. So I'm here tonight to speak about transparency, accountability, and treatment of small businesses and internship programs in Romulus. I have several specific questions that I would like answered on record. And how many small businesses do we currently have in the city of Romulus? Of those, how many have actually received support from the city in the last 5 years through grants, technical assistance, or formal partnership? When grant funds are awarded to the city for business and community development, who specifically makes the decisions about how those funds are allocated and to whom? When people apply for these grants, who sits on the panel that judges those applications? What criteria are they using, and where is the process documented for the public? When new industries and commercial developments come into Romulus, how many Romulus residents have been hired or directly benefited? And where can citizens see a clear public accounting of how that revenue has been reinvested into our neighborhoods or small businesses? Now, that comes to me explaining why I'm asking these questions. As y'all know, my name is Yada Phillips, and I have a small business here in the city of Romulus. And I hear mentions of many small businesses. I've never heard a mention of my own. So I'm asking these questions because I'm not just advocating for myself, but I am speaking on behalf of many small businesses who have felt unseen and unsupported in the city. I have hosted events created opportunities for college students through my internship program, and invested my own time and money into some of the things that I have did for the police and fire department. Despite constant messaging that the city supports small businesses and wants to develop our downtown, I have not seen the mayor present at any of my events. And I only rarely see council members this time. And I've seen Madam Clerk, and I've seen Deputy Clerk. Meanwhile, our downtown remains largely undeveloped with little visibility of progress that residents can actually experience. No real small business ecosystem, no vibrant core that showcase local entrepreneurs. We see gas stations and industrial buildings, but those not automatically translate into visible benefits for the citizens. If they do, then I am asking you to show us the data, show us how many residents got jobs, and show us where in the budget those gains have been reinvested into our neighborhoods and small businesses. There was a small business in our downtown that was effectively pushed out, and I have to ask, may I?
You need more?
Yes, please. Where was the support of the city when this was happening? If we cannot protect and sustain the few small businesses that we do have in our core, then today I ask again, where was the support of the city for the small businesses in Romulus? Right now, it appears that there's certain end groups and familiar organizations receive support and visibility while others qualify. Committed businesses and community partners are left out of the conversation, such as myself. I hear a lot of stuff that happens and I haven't been invited to much. This is not equitable economic development, that is favoritism. I also want to address my internship program. I'm sorry that the chief made his way out of here, but earlier this year, I called the chief and I asked if he would partner with me so that my college students that are coming from MSU, EMU, U of M, I even have some people from Harvard that came in, and I asked them if they would do the ride-along program with us. As part of the program, we developed an opportunity for those students particularly to do ride-alongs within our city with the Romulus Police Department. We took pictures, I posted it, all of that. This was designed not only to give students a real-world exposure to law enforcement work, but to also help the police department gain visibility and attract students who might want to join the force in the future, and I had quite a few. I believe we had a partnership, and we promoted this opportunity, shared it with colleges, and presented it to the students in good faith. At the last minute, after all of the outreach, the police department declined to participate and walked away from this ride-along commitment. This is happening under the current administration right now. Whether the mayor knew about it, and I know you didn't, I already know. Was it a personal decision or not? That means the departments are making choices that damage community relationships, especially small businesses and college intern programs, without clear oversight of our accountability. So I'm asking, what accountability is in place when a city department walks away from the commitments to our small businesses and internship program? Who is responsible for making sure departments honor their partnership? And what will be done to ensure this does not happen again? Not just my program, but to other business and organizations that's trying to partner with the city of Romulus. I'm asking this council, this administration, to open the books on small business support, to be transparent but grant decisions and the panels that judge them, and to demonstrate through action, not just words, that you value small business and college internship programs, but just some that's within the circle. I can tell y'all that I have been here for over 13 years, 13, and I wasn't supported. We had other businesses that were here that wasn't supported, and it's a shame. Okay. I'm sorry, I'll be back the next Monday, but I just want y'all to know and understand. It's not a good feeling. Not only am I a resident here, but I have had a business here for over 13 years. Okay. 13, and I support the colleges. I deal with the criminal justice system, and I have always gone to Romulus first. Now I'm pushed to go outside of the city that I have a business in.
I think you need to have a conversation with administration. I'm sorry, we gotta keep moving, so I'm sorry. And I'll talk to you more offline as well.
Madam Chair, our second request is from Deborah, I think it's Freer. Did I pronounce that correctly? Okay.
Council, Mayor, thank you so much for your time this evening. My name is Deborah Freer, and I'm the Assistant Director at Transportation Riders United. We're the only nonprofit in Michigan that advocates, educates, and mobilizes the community for more and better public transit. I just wanted to call to everyone's attention that there is a vote on August 4th to increase, or I should say expand, public transit all over Wayne County. I know that Romulus is a historical opt-in community, so this will not be a tax increase to Romulus residents, but they will benefit from connections to other parts of Wayne County. I don't know if you have been able to take a look at the proposal for service, but there are proposals for extended service on Michigan Avenue, Middle Belt Road, a flex zone, Romulus flex zone. If you're not familiar with it, we have it where I live, and it's an app-based transportation service, much like Uber, but the minimum is $2 and the maximum fee is $8. So it's great for helping people get around the flex zone and also connect to other fixed route bus service. I would also like you to know that anytime you increase fixed route bus service, you also increase paratransit services for people with disabilities. So, and I'm really excited that SMART is going to be piloting a nighttime flex service between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. One of the reasons that I support public transit and decided to make it my life's work is my mom was hit by a drunk driver coming back from work at GM 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after she worked overtime. She sustained a traumatic brain injury and neck and back injuries, and our family has never been the same since. So I am really excited about the transformation and the additional opportunities for economic development and for people to get to over 400,000 new jobs and to take advantage of educational opportunities, which all lift up the community. And I hope that this body will consider resolutions supporting the transit millage. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Deborah.
Tina, can I ask her a question?
Yes, but
Okay.
she has a quick question.
I just have a couple of questions, just because I did read about it. And so I know they're going to expand services. That's what I read. And I think in particular, Canton and Livonia did not have services, and now they're going to. Is that correct?
That's correct. If the transit millage passes, yes.
Okay, so when you talked about if it passes, because I know you vote August 4th, but did you say it wasn't going to increase the cost? I mean, the millage, or is it, who's it increasing for? Is it everybody?
Right, so the communities like Romulus that have already opted into the SMART system, there will be no increase in taxes for this millage. It's a 10-year millage, it's less than 1 mil, and for the average household worth $200,000, it costs about $8 a month or $96 a year. And the only places where there will be an increase is the historic opt-out communities like Canton, Livonia,
Okay,
Northville.
that's what I wanted to clarify, yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, our next request is from A.J. Freer.
I wish I could say go Pistons. My name's A.J. Freer, and I speak before this honorable body. I'm here in support of True Transit Riders United. I also, in my other vocation, represent 30,000 active retired workers around southeast Michigan, and I negotiate their wages and working conditions. And I notice in the startups that are coming to our cities, one of the biggest impediments of good attendance at work is the failure of good transportation for those that are transportation insecure. My wife said, our mother-in-law, we've taken care of, my children are getting started, and it's hard to get everybody where they need to go. The communities that will start paying, as my wife said, we've been going around and asking those brothers and sisters in those communities to vote for it. It's polling really high, and I don't want to take any more of your time. Mayor, you're a good man. I really respect your leadership, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next request is coming from Stephanie Richards, Community Liaison, Wayne County Sheriff.
I have a few things. I'm gonna be quick. I'm trying to get out of here too, but I want to introduce my new director also. But before I do that, I did bring some goodies because I get asked all the time, what does all the sheriff's office do other than run the jail? So I have some resource guides that I bought for the community. So I'll set them in the back when she gets up to speak. Just have some important phone numbers and kind of go over what we do. Also, I did bring some whistles. I know the parents hate me for bringing them. However, they are good for, awareness, safety, all of those good things. So I did bring some of those to put in the bag, as well as some tote bags and stuff, because it's summertime and I will definitely be in our district. I've already know what I'm coming to see, so I will be there. Did stop by Captain Nemo's, great subs, by the way, just to tell you that. Also, too, I want to say Chief Finance is gone, but I will still publicly thank him because we do have an initiative that my partner is running called 43 Bridges to Safety, where we are getting together to identify some gaps on sexual assault and domestic violence. And I put a call into Chief Finance because I just, think he's a great guy, and I think he has about 40 years of law enforcement experience too. He gave me some great ideas and kind of some viewpoints that might not be readily accepted. It's like we look at just the victim's standpoint, right? But to really get ahead and put preventative measures, you really need to look into all points and kind of look at the predators as well to see what is it that caused them to even go that route, to really get ahead of doing it. And Chief Finance gave me some great ways to look into it. So I did raise his feedback, and we are looking at some really cool ways to combat it. So I just want to say thank you, Chief Finance. Make him go back and watch this video. So thank you for his help. And also, I would like to bring up my new director, which is Carrie Fairfax Moore.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. Honored to be here. Mayor McCray, we have met before, actually just last weekend. Donut Day. As Stephanie said, I am the new Community Engagement Director with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. Just to give you a little background, I did do 26 and a half years, the half counts, with Detroit Police Department. I retired as a sergeant, working under Community Engagement, Chief Neighborhood Liaison Office. So now I am over here, instead of doing just one city, the city of Detroit, I have 43 cities all up under Wayne County. I'm very excited. I know that we have done some things, Stephanie has done a lot of things with the city of Romulus. I'm trying to make as many city councils and events and get to know faces and people of the neighborhood, small businesses as well, transportation. I did hear about the vote that's coming up. I think that's not my, don't want to put my opinion out there, but I am learning a lot within the individual cities within and townships within Wayne County that are so different, all the way from the east side, from the 5 Points, the Grosse Pointe Parks and all of that, and Harper Woods and Hamtramck, all the way down to Wyandotte and Grosse Ile. It is a difference. However, we're all Wayne County. So unless you can pick your city up and move it outside of the county, we are here to help with any of your community engagement needs. I've come to find out that our mounted unit, our K9 unit, our motorcycles, and our honor guard are the most requested. They don't really care to have us, they want them. But if you need anything and you guys, want to reach out if you have a big event coming up or even a small event coming up, we're here to support you as community engagement in Wayne County.
Thank you, Stephanie. You are always engaged in Romulus, and we appreciate you, and thank you for bringing your director and introducing her to us.
Congratulations on that win here. I know you guys worked really hard for that, so.
For all of us.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Madam Chair, we have another request, Michael Calabrese.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk about doing the right thing, but before that, shout out to Mr. Mayor. I've been fighting against that radioactive waste coming to the Belleville area as well, so it's kind of important. I feel like it's something that we should all be able to get behind.
Not my win, it's our win.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Wadsworth. I know very little about you, sir, but I like your energy. I don't know what it is about it, but it's enjoyable. So when I go out and cut my stupid little outfit, I get a lot of questions. And I got kids asking me questions like, what should I do for school? And I have a hard time answering them because what I want to be is honest and be like, yo kids, these AIs are going to take like all your jobs and you're probably going to suffer and struggle in the streets. I don't want to tell them that though because positive. Try to tell them positive things. I had some kids asking me what was in my bag. I said chocolate milk to keep my bones strong. They said that looks like liquor. It's like, yeah, kids are smart. So, 2 weeks ago on Friday, I heard commotion outside. And my neighbor lady was getting her face beat in by her son's baby mama. Hair's getting pulled, the police came, it was quite an ordeal. I haven't seen that much blood in a while. I wanted to do the right thing. In my brain it was separate them. But I try not to act impulsively and think about things. My first thought, hey, I don't want to put my hands on a woman like that. It's a bad image. If I throw her off to the side and she gets hurt, assault charges, you lose certain rights. I also didn't know the politics of it. She told me I did the right thing by waiting and calling the police and talking to them. I still feel like I kind of let her down. Living in a society where you have to question doing the right thing. Would it get me in trouble if I were to step in? And I just feel like an observer. Like I'm trying to do the right thing and I don't know, anyways, I'm getting off topic. I don't write this stuff down. It kind of comes to me from the heart. There's a lot of flat cameras. I know you guys know that I don't like them. I would make a suggestion, though, if they are here for our safety, can we point them at those chemical containers that are on the side of the trash hill that are right next to our house? Because if they blew, it'd be nice to be able to know instantly and thus warn the neighborhood. I personally don't want to breathe toxic chemicals again. They blew up, 20 years ago when it was in a different location, but now they're a little closer to our neighborhood. So if these cameras are here for our safety, which I personally think, if you wanted to get rid of crime, honestly, just get rid of the Constitution. It would make things much easier, but if they are there for our safety, maybe we can get them pointed at some things that are not just the citizens. We can point them at certain dangerous possible, things in our neighborhood. I don't think anybody wants to breathe that stuff again. That's just me. Yeah, try to do the right. I trust you guys. You guys seem decent. I've never had any sort of, ill will towards you guys, enjoyable. But I don't know, trying to do the right thing. It's a hard time to do the right thing out there, it seems. But that's all. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Chair, the last written request is from Mark Lukowitz.
Mr. Lukowitz?
Make Romulus laugh, that's our motto, right? Okay, hey, it's late at night, everybody wants to go home. I didn't know you got a countdown clock now. So all I got is fun stuff here. About a year and a half ago, I came to City Council with a drive to get Chubby Checker into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, okay? So years ago, if you find these videos on him, he said that if they wait too long, he's not going to be there to accept the award. So, and he did not go. So he was true to his word, and he had his agent book him a gig that night. Okay, so I watched it on TV, and they had some clips of him. They went to a theater in Des Plaines to film his acceptance speech. Okay, so the other day I was thinking about how certain things were going, and I found this 45 RPM record. Nobody knows what a 45 RPM record is, but a few of us. It's one that doesn't go at 78 or 33 1/3, okay? And it was a song called Everything's Gonna Be All Right. So I played that, it cheered me up. I sent him a picture of that album, or that 45, and he called me this morning, and we had a nice little chat. So he's gonna be 85 this October. He's doing a full concert schedule. Weird thing about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he held in there always at number 6 on the list. But now they just put Ed Sullivan in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dolly Parton was put in there before Chubby Checker. A lot of people thought that Chubby was already in there. So thanks for everything you guys did. And the last thing I want to say is Dave Allison and I, we had a connection. We still have a connection. We're both looking for a nice Dodge Dart from the 1970s. Because in high school, he had a Dodge Dart and I had a Dodge Dart. So thank you for your time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
And I finished up with a minute and a half to go. No, a minute and 5 seconds.
Thank you.
That was the last written request.
Okay. Let's open it up to the audience. If anybody want to speak at this time, please raise your hand. I see somebody in the back.
Corey Haynes, Romulus Fire Department, Firefighter Joyce. And just wanted to come up here and say thank you to Chief of Staff, Mayor, City Attorney, all of Council, Treasurer, Clerk's Office, DPW, Kevin Kraus, TIFA Board, everybody that's involved. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for the approvals tonight on both the public safety building and the new ambulance. So thank you for that.
Our pleasure. Anybody else from the audience? Going once, going twice. We out.
Number 11 is unfinished business. Number 12 is new business.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm sorry, yeah, under unfinished business, I'm sorry, I guess it's
Mayor?
under new. Just to respond to some of the comments that came from the podium, yeah, I took a lot of notes, and I'm gonna suggest we have a meeting offline, because we pride ourselves on being transparent, and we've done so much small business support in this community that other communities are building a model off of Romulus. And you mentioned a business that was pushed out of our downtown, that's absolutely false as well. And as far as some ride-along for PD, I do know a little bit about it, and I think it wasn't a no, but it's a not right now because of the youth of some of our officers. We just swore in a couple more officers the other day, and these guys gotta be trained and hands-on before they're an effective solo police officer for us. So I think that the term is really about, it's not a good fit right now because of the priority is coaching up our new young officers rather than providing a program for college interns to do a ride-along with us. So I'll set up a meeting with the chief as well, and if you want to hear more about the small businesses, it's all documented, that process is vetted. I can set up a meeting on that with our ComDev director as well, just to walk through that and share that information with you. And one other note on what Ms. Freer said on the transportation, I'm glad she brought that up, because Wayne County is the only county that has opt-out communities. So the language was put in there to include all of the surrounding communities. Right now, people in Romulus can't get access to Canton or Livonia, and vice versa. And we know that we need public transportation for a thriving community because of some of our seniors who might not be able to drive, or some of our disabled people that need to get around. But also workforce. You know, we've added over 2,200 jobs to Romulus in the last 5 years, and we need people to get to work. So Kroger needs people to get to work. Genesco needs people. Amazon needs people to get to work. So it's a very important program. I fully support it. And also what people are missing on this one is if it doesn't pass, and it's just a renewal only for Romulus because we're already opted in. If it doesn't pass, it will restrict or Smart Bus may go away. So it'll be a definite impact, negative impact on the city of Romulus. So we are already an opt-in community, so it's no increase, it's just a renewal. So I'm glad she came up here and brought that up, and I'm gonna have some of the SMART team that's working on this legislation come and do a presentation to council to make sure everybody's got the facts. So thank you.
So Mayor, are they trying to get this opt-out choice off where everybody has to?
They want everybody in.
Everybody involved?
Everybody in.
Okay, are we talking to those communities that have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, she left, okay. Okay, thank you.
If there's no more new business, number 13 is warrant, requesting approval of warrant 26-11.
Through the chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 26-11 in the following amount. General Fund, $45,117.37. Public Safety Fund, $27,957.58. Cable TV, $10.93. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $6,955.45. Community Employee Activity Fund, $400. Tax Increment Finance Authority, $78,354.49. Downtown Development Authority, $4,760.14. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $7,923.50. Library Fund, $4,900.46. Water Debt Services, $700. Water and Sewer Fund, $470,314.63. Motor Vehicle, $31,131.97. Technology Services, $17,963.26. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $6,077.64. Revolving Fund, $3,035. General Tax Fund, $67,777.07. Impressed Payroll Fund, $4,805.52. Totaling all funds, $778,185.01.
Support.
Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, seconded by Mr. Wadsworth, for the approval of warrant 26-11 for checks presented in the amount of $778,185.01. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 14 is communication. Number 15 is adjournment, and the time is 10 o'clock.
So moved.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, seconded by Ms. Abdo for the adjournment of this meeting. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wilhite?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.